Thank you so much for the invite and for having me here today. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Today, we stand at the precipice of a huge transformation. Europe has the potential to lead, but also is at risk to miss this opportunity. However, when we think about the COVID challenge, when Europe was faced with that challenge, we were able to find a solution with a vaccine in really a very short time frame. Through decisiveness, through innovation, through collaboration, and through a we-can-do attitude. However, with the rise of artificial intelligence, we see very fast adoption and implementation of artificial intelligence in the US and China, while Europe risking falling behind to stay competitive in that battle. The general sentiment is that in Europe we are very competitive in AI research, we just heard that, but that we lag really behind in implementing AI rigorously to stay competitive. Last year, Eurostat communicated that on average, only 8% of all enterprises in the EU used AI technologies. While when looking on the big corporates, and some of them are here in the room, this number is 30%. Now, the worry that in the AI field, the winner takes it all, is increased by two megatrends. With aging populations in Europe, health is becoming ever more an economic driver for our societies. And on the other hand, the health sector will be transformed significantly by AI technology. AI can actually help us to achieve new and better outcomes through faster and earlier diagnosis, through better because more personalized medicine and therapies, but also through more patient empowerment. However, also AI can help us to become more efficient. So to say, we can do what we did in the past in a smarter, in a more efficient, in a faster way. And that can help us to fight the rising cost of healthcare, also to manage the growing lack of skillful workforce, as well as to ensure equal access, more equal access to healthcare for everyone. Now, let's have a look on some examples how AI can do so. There are obvious AI value cases that everybody here in the room has heard of. Let's look at two: AlphaFold and radiology. AlphaFold is an AI solution developed by Google and DeepMinds. We achieved to solve a 50-year long-standing problem to predict protein structure, the 3D protein structure from the mere amino acid sequence. Understanding the protein structure is so important in drug discovery, in disease understanding, but also in biotechnology in general. Now, before AlphaFold, determining a protein structure from just the protein sequence was a very tedious, long-lasting, or many years taking effort with crystallization in the laboratories. Now, with AlphaFold's deep learning algorithms, we can predict how a protein folds into the D3 structure easily and within minutes. That was only possible because of the vast data repositories that with experimentally resolved crystal structures from proteins in a worldwide effort through the last 50 years, and partly financed by EU budgets. Now, AlphaFold helps design new drugs faster, understand diseases better, and hopefully also make biotechnology more efficient and greener. The second example I want to bring to you is breast cancer screening. Vara is a Berlin-based startup. They have digitized the entire workflow and patient journey of breast cancer screening and use AI to analyze the X-ray images. In a very recent publication in Lancet Digital Health, they analyzed how AI can affect breast cancer screening over 7 different breast cancer screening programs, mostly European programs. And this study demonstrated that multiple AI integration strategies into the screening programs increased the breast cancer discovery rate by 8%, reduced recalls, reduced false positives, and more importantly, it also reduced the workload in most of the programs up to 84%. So if AI can make these screening programs more efficient and reduce costs with the same budgets, we can achieve better outcomes, we can save more lives. Now, my third example is about rodent behavior classification in drug safety testing. And I would rather call this a hidden AI value case because it's much less shiny and less sexy than the others two we just have seen. In drug testing, pharma companies must show novel drug candidates and see if they are if they do not change the behavior of mice or rats under treatment. And to do so, animal care workers were filming the mice or rats under treatment with infrared cameras overnight. And in the next morning, they were looking through the video streams, analyzing and classifying the rodent behavior, and by thus trying to identify if there is a significant statistical difference between the mice under treatment versus those without treatment. Now, at Merantix Momentum, and together with a big pharma company in Europe, we have built a system, an AI solution, where animal care workers were labeling parts or sequences of the videos with the observed behaviors. And so, over time, we're training the system to do this classification job of the behavior automatically. So now this is not only fully automated and more efficient, and thus allow animal care workers to do what they should do, namely care for the animals instead of sitting in front of a video screen. We also can now assess much more video material than in the past, and by thus increase the statistical validity of the results. And I'm sure with these better outcomes, we find hundreds and hundreds of examples of these hidden AI value cases throughout our healthcare sectors. And leveraging AI will help us to stay more competitive and healthier at the end. Now, what are the latest developments in AI looking forward? In 5 years from now, multimodal and multi-agentic AI will redefine the healthcare workforce. Multimodal and multi-agentic AI means that we go from not just using one type of input, like text or image, to many types of input, like text and images. And with multi-agentic AI, we go from not just solving and automating a single task, but actually a whole sequence of tasks, like a full workflow with AI. Now you can see, and in 5 years from now, you will see that this means we see that the complexity of tasks AI can solve will increase dramatically. And I like to compare this with a journey that you all know, a journey that we all have seen ourselves. In the past, we were looking at a map when driving. Then we started having a GPS system which solved a single task with AI, giving us guidance on the route. And now we have self-driving cars where we have multiple inputs from many different sensors and an AI machinery that simultaneously takes those inputs and solves a very complex task like moving this car safely through a very busy city. Now, I like to summarize this, that we go from a world of software as a service, as you may have heard this term, to a world of service as a software. That means a lot of our workload we do now manually will end up just becoming software. And as I hope you start understanding with that, how deeply this will transform the way how we work, not just in healthcare. And as Bill Gates nicely phrased it, most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year, but we tend to underestimate what we can do in the next 10 years. Ladies and gentlemen, in Europe, we have the assets to drive this transformation. Do we also have the speed and the will that we need? We have in Europe talents, AI talents. We have great AI research, as we already heard. But we have good collaboration. But we need to invest in our data and AI infrastructure. We need to better streamline and harmonize our healthcare systems so we can more effectively share data and really have an attitude of opportunity thinking and the courage to take risks. Now, we all know that. But imagine a healthier, a more competitive Europe. Imagine we follow such a path or such an innovation-embracing path. Imagine the EU becomes a world hub for innovation in healthcare. Now, if we, the people in this room here, do not hesitate, but transform ourselves to seize the opportunity with courage and with self-confidence, I'm sure we also can transform healthcare. Thank you.
Much indeed, Bertram. Thank you so much for those fascinating insights and examples of how AI and data science is already and has the potential to be used to deliver better patient outcomes. Thank you so much for that.